A video for we can do it for Ag Talking Raw. So good morning, welcome to Ag Talking Raw. The shop is a complete disaster. Not that it much matters, but I just want to talk about mental health and this YouTube thing. So the other day I watched a video that was put out by, and it was an Instagram video. It wasn't even a YouTube video, but they're YouTube stars. They got like 1.4 million followers. And the woman of the two are crying that they've made their life their job and their job is now their life. And it's paying a huge toll mentally and physically. So I made a comment. It's like, I've done this for 15 years. The comment said, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been doing what you're doing for 15 years. And the actual creator got back to me. He's like, oh, what? Sailing around the world raising 2 kids? And I'm like, no. Farming in New Jersey and raising 4 children. And yeah, I know the toll that YouTube takes on a person. So there comes a point in time when you realize that, yeah, you could be famous. I could have been famous if I would have watched my mouth and dotted my I's and crossed my T's and minded my P's and Q's, but I didn't. I'm me, and I'm always going to be me, and I'm not going to change for fame or money. Now, I know that there's a few YouTube stars out there that have surpassed me that are not the same people that they started out as. They've changed and conformed and minded their P's and Q's and dotted their I's and crossed their T's and did everything so that they wouldn't get a blacklist or anything like that. I'm not that person. What you see is what you get, and if you don't like it, go fuck yourself. That's just me. There was a time when YouTube was really a bigger part of my life than it is today. Like, I was posting every single day, putting out my daily vlog, and did it make me happy? Not really. I did it because there was some money involved and people enjoyed what I was doing, and some people didn't. They just go, well, let's go out quality content. And I was like, oh, wow, this isn't quality content? You can always unsubscribe. I mean, it's not like you're paying my bills. I'm a farmer. I've always been a farmer. I'm always going to be a farmer. I do have a YouTube career. Some people in this world think that it's an awesome career, and I just find it to be something fun to do. And to the point of this video that was made about complaining about their life being their job and their job being their life, and it's very stressful sailing around the world raising 2 kids. They've lost sight of what they're doing. It's life, If it becomes a problem, change your life. It's a choice, I should say. Your choice to sail around the world. There's nobody there saying, hey, you have to do this. There's nobody saying that. If you want to sail around the world, that's your choice. If you want to make YouTube videos, that's your choice. It was also your choice to make your life your job. They both had jobs before they were YouTube sensations, and they will have jobs after YouTube is dead and gone. And it will come to there is an expiration date for everything. A woman's looks has an expiration date. A man's charm has an expiration date. Our lives have an expiration date. And so too will YouTube and other things. Monsanto, the chemical company, was top dog for many years. Now it's nothing. It's been pieced up, bought out, sold off, and gone. Just like Bell Telephone, for Christ's sakes. So when somebody gets on here and they're bitching about their life, it's their choice. He could go back to the oil rig. Did it make him happy? Nah, but it made him money. She could go back to teaching scuba diving and playing guitar in bars. Did it make her happy? Nah. They found something that made them happy. Now they've made it a stressful thing and they need to let it go. So here I can talk about myself because I've been doing this for 15 years. When I decided that making a video every day wasn't bringing me any joy anymore, I slacked off. I was like, you know what? I don't need to do this. To read comments of ungrateful people, and a lot of grateful people. There was a lot of people that are truly interested in what I do, and and as of lately, I'm going to turn around here to my broken corn planter, which isn't really the topic of today's video, but when you're working really hard,
Look inside there.
what is it?
The piece of your valve.
Get the fuck out of here. Well, you found it now.
Yeah.
Now your flow will be much higher.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, that's a restriction of biblical proportions. Get it up to 45 gallons now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where was I at? So this corn planter that me, Timothy, Teresa, well, Tim didn't really do much on it, but me and Teresa rebuilt, has been a subject of scrutiny, absolute scrutiny. Am I depressed about it? No. Am I going to have a great stand of corn? Probably. I'm quite pleased with the way it's working. Yes, it's 31 years. It's like 32 seasons of being used. Not by me. One season by me. And it's not even the same planter anymore. It's a no-till planter, whereas the guy before was just a conventional till planter. I updated it and upgraded it, made it better. Is it a brand new machine? Fuck no, it's not a brand new machine. But I watched Cole the Corn Star just this morning, and what did he have? He had a John Deere planter that he fucked around with for an entire day and only planted 17 acres because of electronic nightmares. This is mechanical. If something breaks on it, the seed monitor goes off and says, hey, you're not dropping seeds, stupid. You get out, it tells you which row. You get out, you figure out the problem, and you go. You don't sit there and diagnose for 8 hours fucking around with a thing that you can't figure out just to plant 17 acres. In the time that he played around, I could have planted 170 acres with an old mechanical. And what? So you have picket fence stands? The technology doesn't pay the bills. Yes, it's great. Yes, it looks nice. Yes, it's wonderful to have new equipment. But when you're in a field and you're pulling your hair out trying to get corn planted and it won't function, not like, oh, I can shut this row off and go because I know it's putting seed in the ground. It won't function, you got problems. But whatever. These are just choices that we all make. I chose to buy a 30-year-old planter. I chose to do these things. And I choose to post, and I choose to get criticized by people that have probably never put a seed in the ground in their lives. Or their mom and dad do it all the time, and they've got more money than I do, and they poke seeds in the ground with brand new equipment. Maybe their debt load is way higher than mine. I don't know. But I do know this, that 30-year-old piece of equipment is still going to get $6 a bushel corn versus the 1-year-old piece of equipment that's still going to get $6 a bushel corn. Therein lies the difference. Who's going to make more money in the end? Is it going to take me a little bit longer? Yeah, maybe a day or two longer than, say, a brand new machine, if it functioned perfectly all the time. But they don't function perfectly all the time. Cole proved that just this morning or yesterday, whenever he posted that video. So if you're complaining about your life, change it. If you don't like what you're doing, change it. It's like 4 years ago, I was strictly hay. 5 years ago, we started having issues with the mushroom barns. I could have just stuck it out with the mushroom barns, or still stick it out with the mushroom barns, getting it up the ass, and complain about it or change what I'm doing. I chose to change. I chose to change on a cheap way. I feel like I'm starting over again, even though I've been in the grain business many years, for a lot of years. And now I'm back in the grain business. I'm still in the hay business, for any of you asking. Yeah, that's a restriction, big time.
Yeah.
Has to go through and around that thing.
I thought it went all the way through.
So that's the heart valve for the sprayer. Anyway,
my hole.
Tim's got a hole. Well, next time put this thing where
It
that
was, but it snaked its way back.
Yeah, I know. You got to keep an eye on that. So anyway, I just felt that I needed to make this video. How Farms Works is feeling that as well. The lack of appreciation and feeling the suppression. They're not kissing every YouTube star's ass. I know that for a fact. And if they see this, my hat's off to you. I know where you're at because I'm like 3 steps behind you. I've been suffering with this since 2017. Since 2017, I've been over the edge, blacklisted. 16. Before the election, 16.
Did you know that Frank Ocean got
Yeah.
He's no-tone beans in it.
Well, he's going to have fun there. So, anyway, they're not Updike's fields. Those were Michelanko's fields. And I don't know how he's getting into that because that's owned by the New Jersey Conservation Foundation, and they're not really row crop people, but whatever. He can do what he wants. It's his life. Anyway, the deer are going to eat him out of house and home. Unless he calls up and gets him Penergetic BWV from me, and then he can keep the deer off, but that's not happening. So anyway, yeah, I figured I'd say that. Now I got interrupted and lost my train of thought, and I got to get this thing back together so I can go plant corn. But yeah, and again, if you are a young guy that wants to have a YouTube channel, don't bank on YouTube paying your bills forever. Don't bank on YouTube being the only thing. Do the job that you're doing. If you're in agriculture, do the job you're doing. YouTube is always going to be the minor in my book. Millennial Farmer, it's a major part. A lot of these guys, Larson Farms, a major part of their incomes. If you see where they started at before YouTube, stardom, and where they're at today, you see the change in the equipment and what they've been given and all that stuff. And I'm not jealous in any way. I could have got all this stuff. I get daily I get emails from people trying to get me to use their stuff. Not major equipment, but car manufacturers and things like that. And I just say no, because I don't have the time to dedicate to it. I'm a farmer, and I'm too raw boned for most of these people. And that's okay, because I don't care. When YouTube is dead and gone, and everybody's like, oh, wow, that income was nice while it lasted, but now what? You know, there you go. I hope those guys are doing their thing, and being smart about it, but it doesn't. To me, is what it is. Don't make your job your life and your life your job, unless you're farming. But YouTube, something as volatile like that, don't make that your sole source of income, because if you do, you're sorely mistaken as to the happiness that it will bring you. The people that I'm talking about have actually opened up a company, so they probably will be able to, and not just merchandise, merchandise, whatever. I tried that shit. It was okay, but the amount of complaints from ungrateful mothers and fathers of kids that love my channel but didn't like the whatever the hell it was that I was selling. Like, oh, I dropped the mug. Can you send me a new one? Well, you dropped your mug. What the fuck? You want me to pay for your mistake? Whatever, the shit like that. Your kid wanted a t-shirt. I sent him a t-shirt. His mother calls me up and freaks out that it was offensive. Well, it was the kid wanted the takes my clothes, makes my panties fall off thing. So I sent them to him for free, no less. And I catch shit, so I quit that. Enough of that. Enough. No more. Good quality stuff, and then they bitched that it's too expensive. Oh, well, why can I get from Cole the Corn Store a t-shirt for $25 and you were charging $30? Well, mine was embroidered like this. This is embroidered. Beautiful, right? Lasts forever. Outlast the shirt. When the shirt's worn out, you can cut this patch out and put it in make a patch for your blue jeans, and it'll probably outlast the blue jeans. But whatever. Anyway, yeah. Start a business from YouTube. You got the popularity, ride it, and go as far as you can. The rest is just fluff. It's just fluff. Don't get yourself in a mental state because, oh God, I've got 2 kids in a sailboat. I'm going around the world. Oh my God, what am I going to do with myself? It's so hard. Get the fuck out of here. Good God. Walk a day in my shoes, bitches.